Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Platinum, and I'm here with White Cold and also Chigo Senpai, and we're talking about Boruto. So what do you guys think? How's Boruto coming along?
You know what? I'm gonna let White Cold go first. You go ahead, baby. Go ahead. You
Always
go
let
ahead.
me.
You got it.
All right. Nah. So if you really want my personal thoughts, I don't really keep up with this version of Black Cloak. Boruto. Boruto.
This is
But
gold.
I don't keep up with the sub. But I heard that apparently Boruto is going back in time to meet his younger version of his dad,
Yeah,
which I don't see the reason whatsoever.
it's not canon, right? It's not. I
It-
don't
it-
read the
I don't-
manga, so
I don't believe so. I haven't read the manga either. So
That's-
I just
So,
yeah,
if
yeah.
I can, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So, here's what I know about this, right? Because actually, funny enough, you made a tweet, Platinum. You made a tweet talking a little bit about this Boruto stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, my energy went from like 1 to 100 real quick. I was just like, okay, this is an opportunity because I barely get to talk about Naruto or Boruto, to be honest.
Right.
So whenever I get the chance, I'll do it. So I had given my thoughts, right? I gave my opinions on it. And some people pointed out, they were like, oh, this is the 20-year anniversary something, and that's why they're doing the time travel gimmick. But when you look at here's the thing, like I'm not dismissing that fact because it's legit. But the fact is, man, like as far as how Boruto's been received, I mean, I'm not even just gonna speak for outside of Japan because I've heard some things here and there that even in Japan, like there seems to be a slight bad reception. If I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I've heard too. But especially outside of Japan, I mean, a fan like myself that has watched Naruto, right, the original series when it was first being dropped, all the way up to now, where we got the Boruto series, like, is me personally, it's been disappointing. I've been
right.
and I got to be honest with you, I stopped keeping up with it. At first, I was invested. I was like, "Let's go, new content. Everybody's grown up. They got kids. What's going on?"
What's
and
up?
Yeah.
right, like what's good in the hood, you know? Boruto. Okay, let's go. But
Exactly.
the problem was every episode, and I kid you. Here's the thing. For Naruto fans specifically, and this cannot be refuted. For Naruto fans, we know what filler feels like because we know what filler looks like because out of all series, man, when it comes to fillers, Naruto, man, these fillers last, okay? And also flashbacks, but we'll get into that later, I'm sure.
Let me just butt in real quick.
Yeah.
You don't
Go
even
ahead.
for people who have not seen Naruto, and if you're like on a One Piece or Bleach standpoint, if you're like a stand-up fan for either One Piece or Bleach, you know full well how fillers actually feel. Just flat out.
Yeah. Amen.
Just had to point that out
Ironically
there.
enough.
That's the truth.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there too. The big three. Let's get this cleared up right now. The big three is Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. I know that some people have their different favorites.
Right.
They got like, oh, Dragon Ball's in there. Some no. Dragon Ball is the daddy. Okay, these three are children that became legends along with it. Okay, so that just
The
clear that
granddaddy.
up right now.
The
granddad. Okay?
Facts.
The granddad. But it's in this order. The big three will always and forever be One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach.
Exactly.
In that exact order. But let's just get in par with Boruto. Now,
All right.
for me personally, it just doesn't bother me like if there's new content for a series like that. We've all seen it many before. Like any anime series that you so have loved and something that has a lot of content, you would expect to have filler arcs or other content that are not canon or manga material in it.
Yeah.
That's not out of the ordinary. But when it's compiled on a series for so long, and when you expect to have some sort of reaction behind the series and people are constantly saying like, okay, when are we going to get some official stuff? Like, when are we going to get some canon stuff. Like this is something that we really want to we'll be waiting for. Like since Boruto even started for me, I'm waiting for Boruto to be an adult against Kaoki. That's what I'm waiting
That's
for.
literally what everyone's waiting for.
That's what I'm waiting for.
It's
Everybody
basically
is
every
gonna be
single
waiting
one. Every single one.
Do they have enough material?
Like
how far is the manga right now?
Cheers.
Jesus,
I think it's getting there. Like because Kawaki has just come into the story. I know that much for a fact. As of right now, while we're recording this, he's just come into the story. So I mean, there's that, and then him and Boruto have met up by now. So they're not adults yet, though. As far as I can recall, they're not adults yet.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, like what you just said.
Yeah.
Everybody's been waiting for that. And the thing is like with the anime specifically, right? You had it start in terms of a timeline. It started before the tuning exams. I think that was just like there was no point in that. Like personally, me, I feel like there was no point in that because when you if they were gonna make that decision anyway, there should have been like some true build up. But as far as the episodes went, when I was still watching the anime, because again, like I can't be asked to do it, okay? But listen, like at least give it a good build up. Like the original Naruto series did not start at the tuning exams, okay? You got to build up to that,
exactly.
And it felt genuine. It felt legit. With Boruto, it's like filler after filler.
And then
after
filler.
filler. Where'd the plot go? Filler.
Exactly.
Wait, plot.
There's no plot. There's no plot.
Where's the plot? None at all. Like, where's it at, Chief? Like, it's gone. I'm sad about it. Like, I want to know what's canon and what's not. You couldn't even tell. That's the crazy part. You could not tell what was actually canon and what wasn't. As far as I'm concerned, it might as well have all been filler. All of it. Like, and the thing is when the manga finally got to when the anime finally got to the tuning exams.
Yeah.
At that point, I wasn't invested anymore. It was already kind of just like, right, like it was just kind of over with. The thing is, we have a movie that basically, probably, arguably, besides the Momoshiki bit, probably gave us the best possible adaptation, in my opinion.
You know what? The Momoshiki bit
the movie
was the best part.
Yeah, I've seen that not too long ago. Yeah, it was really good.
Best part of the Boruto anime.
You want to know why it was so good though?
Why was it so good, Chigo?
Why was it so good?
Yeah. No, it's listen. Think about it. If they changed it and it was just Boruto taking on Momoshiki, like just random hypothetical, instead of Naruto and Sasuke facing him, they just immediately had it just be Boruto.
It would have flopped. Right there.
Would anybody honestly have been as invested compared to actually being just like the first time around? Granted, this time the animation was on fire, but dog, it's because Naruto and Sasuke were there. Listen, as far as I've seen in terms of reception, as far as the Boruto fans and maybe even like straight up Naruto fans that are still out there, every single time that Naruto and Sasuke specifically, or even Sakura, or some of the older characters, more towards those three, if they're at the forefront of an episode for Boruto, that's when the fans are like, yeah, things are getting really good. Or like that, there was that one fight, I think it was Konohamaru versus somebody, and it was not that long ago.
Oh, I think I know. I know what you're talking about.
Right. People were going crazy about that, and I'm like, you want to know why it was so good? No. All seriousness though, the animation was beautiful.
It was top notch.
Konohamaru, Boruto doing what Konohamaru's doing yet, granted, but Konohamaru. Okay, it was kind of. I hated to admit it at the time, but I'm more than willing to now. Such justice done for Konohamaru, because it felt like he really didn't get that good clean fight, but it was because he was too young back in Shippuden to even really, be able to start bodying people, if that makes sense.
I mean, he
now
had
he's
his
grown.
one scene with Pain, right?
Yeah, but he was still a kid, you couldn't expect him to body Pain, right? Freaking Pain. Wipe out the village. Oh yeah, Konohamaru, he can take him out. Good Lord. Expectations, man. It's too much. Too much. For
but here's the thing. For the dub, like you just said, They just now got into the tuning exam, and they just started to talk about the whole Otsuki with White Zetsu and all that. So I'm like, oh my god,
This is like
be more.
a
I almost just
replay.
choked when
I
you
don't know
said
what's
that.
going
Like,
on.
wait,
And then Toonami said later on that I believe after that episode they're gonna put it on hold for a bit so they can have the new JoJo come in.
Joe.
Okay.
Go do. I'm sorry.
No,
And then
no.
I'm just like, so then I'm
Like-
looking at this because I made a tweet about this like not even too long ago, but I made a tweet about that, and then I'm just like, no wonder it's getting a hold on that because it's not even getting to the main part of the plot. People who are just now watching Boruto or whoever just now are watching it, they can't even tell what's canon and what's not.
like I said, man, like you just don't know, man.
Like,
You just scratching your head like, I think this is canon, but I don't know about episode 2. I don't know if that was canon. I don't know.
Right.
Like you just don't even know.
Have you guys seen
like-
Yanko Productions video on Boruto?
about how
Oh,
it's a
man.
failure.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a really good video.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He
Complete
spoke-
side note. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, like he brought up some really good points. I can't fully remember all of them, but like, you know what? I'm on his video right now. I'll just read his description, and heck, I'll even read the comment that I posted that he even pinned because he just totally agreed. So
I think I saw that.
Yeah, I told you about that, Chigo. So like, here's his description. It's been 4 years since the Naruto manga ended, with all that exists to continue Kishimoto's legacy being Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, with the series having been in publication for over 2 years now, giving ample time to develop. The series has been in publication long enough to declare it a failure. Footage used with permission from Madman Entertainment, blah blah blah. There we go. Yeah, he's using footage. Boruto's a failure. As of November 2018, it's been 4 years since the Naruto manga ended, which marked the end of an era and the last of Masashi Kishimoto's direct involvement with the Naruto franchise. Now that we're a few years into the Boruto era, it's been quite the turbulent ride. We started with a phenomenal film scripted and supervised directly by Kishimoto, with a fresh yet familiar take on Naruto mythos. To follow up with the Boruto film, we had a new manga to continue the legacy penned by longtime Naruto assistant Mikio Ikemoto and written by Yukio Kodachi. The core story is handled by Kodachi, and Kishimoto serves as a supervising editor for the series. So, however, a series of missteps has doomed the big sequel to a minor bothersome addition to Naruto lore. Fundamentally, the series has been hampered by Shueisha's overproductive nature that led Kodachi to avoid telling his story outright from Chapter 1. The fact that the manga was retelling, of the movie, had a retelling of the movie, it led fans to feel like the series was doing nothing more than riding on, the coattails of the Naruto name. And that basically sums up the description. So, how do you guys feel about that?
You know who I feel really bad for? Kishimoto Sensei. This man is low key taking L's for no reason.
I don't
when it comes to
think-
Boruto,
I don't think,
like
he
in my
wanted this.
opinion, like here's what I heard. Oh yeah, go ahead. You want to go first?
Go ahead, White.
Yeah. I don't think it's just right for Kishimoto to just go through all this now. I mean, he's been through a lot, and the guy just really needs to kind of like unwind over pretty much a masterpiece of something that's taken years of accountable for all the fans out there. Like, Naruto has been a major impact for the anime community.
Yes, many people.
For many, many years, and people just don't realize that.
When did you guys start Naruto?
I started Naruto not too long ago.
Not too
I
long
think I
ago.
mentioned.
Not too
I think I
long.
mentioned. I think I mentioned it already, but I was at it at the very beginning, man. I was I was watching it.
How
Yeah.
old were you? Like approximately? Do you remember?
I
Oh boy, yeah.
actually don't
Yeah.
even. I,
I was probably, I was
I don't
probably
even.
like,
I don't, don't
I was
I
remember.
probably like 16, 17
I
when I
remember
first
middle
started.
school. Yeah, at least around there. At least, yeah, 15. Yeah, 15 for
And,
me.
and I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even start the original Naruto. I just immediately gone up to
Uh,
Shippuden.
put
I
it in.
immediately
Yeah.
Yup.
got to Shippuden,
Yup.
and I
Yup.
fully understood what the original Naruto was more likely about just from Shippuden.
Yeah.
No, you know one reason for that. Flashbacks. The
Yeah,
flashbacks will tell you everything. Like this is the beauty of it, because a lot of fans I think can relate to what you just talked about, coming into Shippuden, not even watching the original. In some ways, you don't even have to. Which I know I'm not encouraging that. Like by all means, watch the original series, get the full experience.
right,
But
right.
for a lot of people, they don't have to, or they didn't have to because you got flashbacks, and this is the only time I'm gonna say that the flashbacks are actually useful. You know, like
Right.
they really do come in clutch in that
Exactly.
result. Like, you know,
Hmm.
so it's good there. You know, good W for the flashbacks. They under a lot of losses, but speaking of losses, I was saying just a second ago, but like Kishimoto, man, the amount of for no reason. Like Boruto's one thing, but then I just want to give a shout out to the Samurai 8. I don't know if anybody's reading to
You
that
know
or
what?
peeping that.
I haven't even
I
touched
haven't
it.
even, yeah, like I haven't even read it yet. Is it?
So bad for him because that's his own new project, and from what I've heard, it sounds like it might be struggling a bit, or maybe that's even an understatement. So
People
I
say
feel
it's
so
not
bad for
doing
I
him.
so
think he
good.
really just need a. I think Kishimoto just needs a break
I think
in
he
general.
needed more time. I think
He
the
needed
Samurai
just
8 thing was rushed.
right.
I
Too
think it
soon,
was.
and you know but also it broke my heart the other. This was recent. I heard that I guess he came out and mentioned that he's been having health problems. So I'm like,
No.
this just kind of drills
Uh,
in the fact that he needs a break. This man has been working for so long, and
right. He needs
he's made,
he needs the Kubo treatment. He needs that.
Yeah.
he does.
He needs
Kubo's
that Kubo
see
treatment.
Kubo's
That's
being
time to
smart.
relax.
He's not even Kubo's not focusing on a new story right now. He's
Right.
being very smart.
He's just chilling, to be honest.
He's
And that's
chilling.
like,
He's
Like
just chilling.
he's
He's working on
supervising, but
supervising
yeah.
the light novels.
Yeah, that's all he's doing.
and yo,
K-Lab,
Yeah.
Brave Soul.
Brave Souls, yeah.
oh yeah, Caleb. Yo, like for real though, shouts out to all these mangakas out here. Yo, they don't get like even though as much as we respect them, they still don't get enough
They don't
respect.
get the credit that they deserve.
That's
They
very
really
true.
Freaking hard,
don't.
Bob. Like
They
they're
need more. They just
you,
need
you
to
know
be
what it is?
praised more.
It is. It's like it. This might be like really. This might be really blunt with it, but they're practically killing themselves. How hard they work.
Oh
Like
yeah. No,
Exactly.
I can't
every
even
single
imagine.
day.
Exactly.
I think I heard like one schedule where it was like they only get like I can't remember who it was, but I remember something about a schedule for one mangaka. It was like 3 hours or something of sleep, and then when he gets up, he's just working the rest of the day till night, and then he gets a couple hours of
That's
sleep.
crazy.
It's insane.
That's
It's
definitely Oda.
crazy.
That's
That's
just tough.
definitely Oda.
Like I kind of cringe inside because
Right.
Twitter is a platform, right? And on Twitter, sometimes people will, let me be more specific. Sometimes the anime community, we got some fans in here that might discuss, right, the art styles and whatnot of panels and all that. And, sometimes there might be some critiques here and there. Granted, it's the same with anime, but it like part of me like kind of like I kind of die inside because I'm like, man, when it gets really bad with like the disrespect, like it's like, come on, guys,
It's
you know how hard they're working,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
and here's my thing, right?
Mhm.
Because maybe this could
Yeah.
be an argument for some people is, oh, they're just sitting in a chair writing. That can't be difficult. That can't be challenging. Absolutely not. There's so much more
Right.
to it than that.
And that's
They got to use their brains and think of new stories and new and think
Yeah.
of how the things are gonna look like.
How everything's
So much
gonna
goes
look,
into
man. It's
Right.
nuts. I can't
And
even imagine that.
This kind of thing applies the same for when you're dubbing an anime. See, now I've seen things on Twitter where people go out and they just comment on stuff and say, "Oh, why does it take a whole week for a person to do 20 minutes worth of dialogue reading?"
I don't think they
And I'm
fully understand. They can't.
They
fully
don't understand how exactly dubbing actually works. You have the engineers, you have the ADR directors. They have to go over the lines. They have to do takes. That's really important because they want to make sure the emphasis of the lines fit the actual screen and what the anime is actually trying to portray here. So it's
animating
more
the
than
lip sync too, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy stuff.
And like, here's the thing too: is it's not even just like English dub or something. All the dubs,
Exactly.
whether it's Japanese, every single one. The
Exactly.
voice actors work hard. Yo, real quick, speaking of shouts outs, yo, shout out to the voice of Goku. She has been killing it for years, dog. She's the queen.
She doesn't deserve the disrespect.
Exactly. She really does.
And if you dare disrespect her, listen. I won't call you names. I won't disrespect you, but you're gonna break my heart if you dare disrespect her, man. I'm gonna cry.
None of the Japanese voice actors should ever be disrespected.
No,
because they're influenced. Because the English dub voice actors that are dubbing these shows right now, they have to be influenced by these Japanese voice actors. Now I've seen so much. Now look, as a dub person myself, I don't particularly have a preference for sub because it's just a personal preference, and this is something that I live by, and this is what I've known to do. But like, I have to respect the Japanese voice actors because that's where they got their influence from. Like Sean Schemmel, Chris Sabat, many other voice actors, they give praise to these people because they influence their lives and for what they do. They give them the inspiration to do what they do now. So it's really imperative that you should also praise the Japanese voice actors as well.
I have respect for both sides. Nothing but respect.
So speaking of voice actors and speaking of respect, yo, I don't mean to gas you up too much here, but hey, y'all gotta give Bleach fans that watch this, y'all gotta give respect to my man Platinum. Here's why I say this. It wasn't that long ago that there was a petition that my man Platinum here started a while ago for the Bleach anime's return. Yeah. Dog, the voice actor, English dub voice actor, Ichigo, was even willing to share it out. Yo, real quick, can we just clap it up for my man's real quick?
Yeah. I had to show him and actually like Platinum. I told him like Platinum,
wait,
is this your petition?
I was like, this is mine. What's going on?
This is yours.
Like,
and you
why is Bosch tweeting it?
My God.
Yeah, and your petition hit the media.
That was nuts, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh no, oh my God.
I mean, listen, I wouldn't be the person that I am today if it wasn't for Platinum and many other Bleach fans in this community. Like, I would not have the courage to talk right now if it wasn't for this guy right here.
Thank you.
That's just the amount of respect I give this guy.
And you know what? If I may, sometimes Platinum, we've had chats, and you've told me how sometimes you've had some troubles with, what's going on with you and YouTube. What's happening with your content, or are you doing good? Like, dog, I tell you this so many times, and I bet you there's gonna be at least one comment that's gonna go along with this. But there's, at the end of the day, we're still gonna support you, my guy. We're still gonna be out here.
Always. Yep.
Always.
I'll continue to do my best.
You've done a great job, man. You do. Certainly.
Yep.
Same goes for James. Same goes for you, White. Same goes for you, Chigo.
I need to do more Bleach videos, to be honest.
Oh, and Bleach Center too. Bleach Center, he's kind of like your successor right now. He's done.
Yeah, I told everybody, I'm like, dude, guys, subscribe to this guy, man. Like, he's doing
this guy's doing a phenomenal job.
This guy is doing an amazing job, man. Like, I've run out of ideas, but this guy just keeps pushing his content to new heights, and I'm just like, wow. I wish I had time to do that, but I really don't. I don't have the motivation anymore. I'm just
Yeah.
tired, man.
And if I had the time, I could do
Oh, man.
more collabs,
Yeah,
just like this one.
we'll get around to them. This
Yeah.
is podcast 1 after all.
Say, man, like it's a blessing to be with two awesome guys like yourselves right now. Like I like to be completely fair
I
here.
can say the same thing, man.
like,
You're even more awesome
I-
man, just by saying that.
Chigo's
I
always
haven't
nice.
I haven't even made that many Bleach videos, and the thing is because I'm like super self-conscious about that because my channel is mainly Dragon Ball stuff. But whenever it always, let me quote this man real quick, brings a smile to my face when I get to make a Bleach video, and there's actually some peeps that love Bleach from my channel, and actually like, hey, yeah, I love Bleach. Da, da, da. It's such a great thing, and the thing is about the Bleach community, man, like. This is such a blessed community. It didn't need to be the biggest community. It didn't need to be a perfect community. That's not what makes it beautiful. Like at the end of the day, this community is so supportive of just itself. Like we still are holding on to that hope, for the Bleach anime to come back and all this other good stuff, like and be completed as an anime. Like this community is amazing. It's an amazing place, and it has so many amazing people in it. If you're watching this right now, you're a Bleach fan. No, just shouts out to you. Thanks for freaking supporting this series, man. Because like it's had some bumps. It's had some bumps in the road. But
actually support it. Go on Viz Media right now. You can watch the entire series for free.
You can.
The entire series, episode 1 to 366.
It's true.
Buy the manga.
And sub.
It's true.
Come on.
For free.
Just do
or
it.
go buy the Blu-rays.
Just do it right now.
Just go do it.
Ichigo versus Green Gel right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Or even buy the merchandise. I just got the Jet art book for Christmas. Or not. No, it wasn't for Christmas. It was for my birthday.
Birthday.
It was for my birthday.
Okay.
I was so happy I was gonna cry.
Oh man.
I was gonna cry.
I'm late, but happy birthday.
But it was just, I'm just telling you guys, support Bleach if you truly love Bleach. And it's not a cry to support something that you love. Doesn't matter if it's airing or not.
Well, we've said this a million times.
A million times. And we're gonna keep saying it.
And you know what?
It's the truth.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. I want to also put in something here. As a Dragon Ball fan, right? Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Because this is where I'm gonna hope that this is a unique perspective. As a Dragon Ball fan, right?
Yeah.
Like the community is gigantic. Like we all know that, right?
We all know
And the thing
Dragon
is,
Ball
like,
basically has the hugest fan base.
not to tune our own horn, but it's kind of big. It's kind of big, okay?
You don't want to get down that route.
But that's not the point, though. The thing is people don't see it, but the Bleach and Dragon Ball community, there's a lot of couple things in common with them. There's some things that are very, very similar. Now, first and foremost, both series don't have an anime right now. And everybody's like, when's the anime coming back? When's the anime coming back? When's the anime coming back? Is it going to come back? And the thing is, too, is not even just that, but people within these communities, separate communities, kind of, well, we're all part of the anime community at the end of the day, but you get the point. Dog, I want to shout out real quick. My man's Geekdom 101. This dude and Yonko Productions, that's again, shouts out to our man's Yonko, they're out here trying to find out all these details, all this information. On the other side of things, we got the Bleach side of this. Got like James, we just mentioned him a minute ago. You got right here, Platinum, our boy right here. Like they kind of like these people, they kind of do the same things, but for two different sides of the anime community, Dragon Ball community, the Bleach community.
Exactly.
Like they're in very similar situations right now, Bleach and Dragon Ball. At the end of the day, like it goes to show that regardless of what the number is on how many people are in either communities, like they can still be so strong within themselves. Dragon Ball community is still out here. Like, dog, I can make a tweet, right? Like a response to something that's completely unrelated to Dragon Ball and just have a Dragon Ball gif. Next thing I know, I just see a whole bunch more Dragon Ball pictures following. And the same can happen with Bleach. There are fans everywhere. And speaking, not even just these two anime, but anime as a whole has come so far. There was a time that I remember personally where I was bullied for just liking anime. it didn't matter if I had the merch or not. If I just liked it and said that I did, or if I was watching it, I was made fun of for it. We've
Oh,
come
bro,
so
it still
far.
happens.
Yeah, we've
We have
been
come
there.
so far.
Yeah.
Like, dog, sometimes people kind of debate it, even I do sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's basically mainstream now. That's amazing. I mean, some of the biggest content creators
Exactly.
are anime fans. And PewDiePie, hello.
NBA players.
PewDiePie.
NBA players.
Even
Are
Ninja,
anime
like,
fans.
Oof.
like dog, just so
Go look at Michael B. Jordan, man. Like,
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan
he's like
is a fan of
talking
Bleach.
about
He loves Naruto
Dragon Ball,
and Bleach.
Bleach, I think Naruto too.
He loves
Yeah, like
many
like
things.
dog. Anime it's something that's so amazing. It's helped people. It's saved lives literally, and I speak as one of those people. Like it's literally just one of the most amazing things out there. Like and here's the thing, right? Because we've been talking about Boruto at least in the beginning. Here's the thing: if you enjoy the series, first of all, there's no disrespect to you Boruto fans if you happen to be watching this. No disrespect to you. That's not the intention of this. It's more of, as far as, or at least for me anyway, I'll speak for myself. As far as being a Naruto fan, it's just been disappointing for me. It's made me feel like I can't even look at something Naruto related without being reminded that Boruto hasn't really been hitting it for me like Naruto wants to. You know what I mean? And when it comes down to it, for me, like in my perspective, Boruto was never going to replace Naruto for me. It just, and it doesn't. But on the other hand, if you need something to fill that void, all I'm gonna say is watch JoJo's. Look, now listen, if you haven't already seen JoJo, I recommend it to you. Maybe you guys agree, maybe not. I'm just saying, watch JoJo's, okay? It's good stuff. I think so. What are you guys thinking?
Everything you just said, I agree.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I agree
good.
100%, man.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh man, I freaking JoJo's just did it for me, man. Like when I thought, oh, nothing's gonna replace Naruto, nothing's gonna give me that sense of
Right.
excitement for the next episode. Nah, JoJo's did it. Now I'm over here like, okay, give me part 6 now. Let me see that animated. You know what I mean? Like, it's been awesome watching that series, man. And you know what? Jumping back to Boruto real quick. Here's what I think how we can transition
back to
here.
Boruto now.
As the series had started, right? I think if anything, it had a really strong start. And I'm talking for both the manga and the anime, to be honest, is that beginning bit where, oh shoot, I'm gonna send you to where the Hokage is. Nani? Like that beginning bit, say what you will, because obviously there's that fear of, oh God, what happened to Naruto? Is he dead?
Is he dead? Right.
Nani? Like dog, like it was a pretty decent start, all things considered. I think so. I think that what we do here is kind of give, in our own perspectives, where do you think this series should have gone? Like maybe not in the farthest of details, but just like an idea of where things should have gone. After that beginning bit.
I'll tell you right now, the Boruto anime is screwed up. You all know this.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Yeah. I mean,
with the setting that, after Naruto Shippuden, like the way everything was set up, it's just Boruto really wasn't needed. It was forced. It was forced, man.
yeah.
Oh,
Milk that
God.
cow. Milk that cow.
Gotta milk that cow. No.
I mean, like when we first, I'm guessing when we first initially heard it was hitting mainstream. Like usually we'll be like all excited,
Yeah,
because we can see everybody having a life as an adult. Like
yeah. I was interested in that, but just everything centered around Boruto. It's just
Exactly.
it's a
It's
happy
just like-
life. It's not.
exactly.
No anime fan wants to see just sunshine and whatever's going on in that anime. They want to see some real battles, like life or death situations.
Like it'll sometimes have like their own side battles,
Yeah,
and
they
then at the
did.
end of the day, it's just happy ending at the end. And I'm like,
They teach
this
some
is
really nice lessons in there too. I won't fail
right.
to admit that. All right, like it's good. It's all good in that area. But you guys know where
Be
I'm going
honest.
with this.
Yeah,
I've got to be honest. I have so much to say on this specific aspect of Boruto. I honestly have so much to say.
Go
If you
ahead,
guys are
say
willing.
it, man.
go
I
ahead,
will
go
let
ahead.
you
Speak your piece,
speak your
man.
piece, man.
So first off, then and don't worry, it's not gonna be bad. It's just my
Not gonna be bad,
observations.
he says.
Yeah, just wait. You might be surprised. You might be surprised. Here's the thing. Naruto the series was about characters that had to struggle and had to make do with what they had and make something of themselves in difficult circumstances.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Right.
Boruto is the complete opposite.
Yep.
It's the
Exactly.
complete opposite. It's where kids are very fortunate. And if anything, I think there's parallels to be drawn in the sense of reality. There's a lot of reality things to be tied here.
I think the biggest
Because
point here
I
is
agree.
that Boruto in the beginning,
as
he's very stuck
Yeah.
up. He doesn't understand what Naruto went through.
Exactly. That's kind of what I think.
He's
It's
very
like no
stuck up.
matter how much Boruto actually wanted, as much as he actually cares for his dad, he just doesn't fully
has-
understand the amount of
He
hardships
has
and
no idea.
what he had to go through to get into the position that he is now. Like
Exactly.
it's
But,
not easy to become the Hokage.
and
It was never easy.
It was never easy.
I think something that some fans might say about this in this case is, oh, well, that's why the time travel thing's happening, so Boruto can understand. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an idea for that. But even then, I wouldn't think that that'd be the idea. But I'm not even like, I haven't even gotten into this thing I have to say on this. I'm not even done yet.
Hold on. Let
I
me
think what's
search up that
really
episode.
I think the important aspect for Boruto to actually fully understand is that he needs to go to a specific point in time to which Naruto didn't have friends to begin with.
Yeah.
He didn't
you
have.
know what?
He
That
didn't
would have
have.
been better.
Yeah, it would have been
It
a
would have
lot
been,
better
yeah.
because he needs to understand how much misfortune that Naruto had in his childhood, and he has to come. He really has to come up to his kid and just say like, "Hey, you really got it good here. I didn't have many friends starting out as a kid.
Yeah.
You got it all. You got a good thing going."
And what I was kind of talking about a minute ago is how these two shows, they have parallels to reality. That's what I think.
Right.
I think that
Yeah.
Naruto kind of represents the early 2000s and before then. And I think that Boruto is starting to represent today, as in like 2017 up till now, and probably even beyond.
Oh yeah,
where
definitely.
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in
I
the
agree with
day,
that.
The technology and all that. They
Yeah.
have.
like back in
And
the
how
day,
it's
you know,
easy
we
to-
had to struggle. We had to make do what we had. And come today, we have so much technology. A lot of these kids that are these new generations that are going to be coming up, they're not going to know half of the struggles that existed 2009, 19.
Exactly.
They're not even going to know. And that's kind of in a way, there's like the symbolism of it, the connections you can make with that. That's something that's interesting, I think, personally. But getting into Boruto, because Boruto exists as a series, it introduced something that exists as heavily in Dragon Ball. And that's the idea of who's a good parent, who's a good father, who's a bad father. When it comes down to it, it's between Naruto and Sasuke, right? And you know what? Shouts out to Afro Senju. Maybe some of y'all know who that is. He's the GOAT. But look, this man made a tweet literally I think yesterday, and it was kind of about it was between him and somebody else, like Kabuki Sage, and they were talking about who's the better parent. You know, who's the better
Sasuke or
parent?
Naruto.
Is it exactly? And here's how I interpret that. Because I think that that's a good discussion in some respects, is that Naruto is kind of the modern day father to a child that is very fortunate, that might be wealthy or what have you. to where Naruto's always at work. He's very busy. He's got things to do, so he doesn't always get to spend time with his child. And I think that Sasuke is more of the more common father to maybe a more average child that lives in a more, relatable, not as wealthy, maybe more average living situation where maybe they're not in their child's life very much, if at all. Like I think that is like one aspect of Boruto specifically that could hit for some people. I think it can, but as far as without Naruto and Sasuke even being a factor, could you really find something deep like that in Boruto as a series, though? Without Naruto and Sasuke, can you honestly find something that deep? That's my question to you, Boruto fans. Hey, leave a comment if you can think of something. Hey, do it. Just go for it. But and you know what? I think you guys were one of you guys were talking about a second ago about how Boruto doesn't understand Naruto's struggles. Here's the thing, dog. As much as I don't get to talk about Naruto, the thing is, out of all anime characters, for me personally, Naruto is the one I relate the most to because I have surprisingly a lot in common with him. And one of the big things is my childhood. It's basically a copy and paste. I can't even lie. Not having friends, being very much alone most of the time, and people didn't really notice me and all that. And that's the thing, is that's why I'm especially passionate about this discussion of Boruto. Is it needed? Is it necessary? Do we need it today? Is because, like, man, watching Naruto and seeing it up till now, like, dog, like this series in particular is super close to me. Dragon Ball might be my favorite anime, but Naruto and probably Another World might as well be. Like, it's
each of these shonens.
I'm very close to it.
Hit in different places. Like, it depends. Like, it all depends.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
each of them have their own story to tell. And, growing
really
up
do.
with these series was absolutely amazing.
One thing is, too, is like, man, some of these newer generations are not going to know what that's like.
They're
not going to.
That's
really
the problem.
Really not.
That's the problem right there.
And I know we have anime like My Hero and all that, but
I mean,
there's something very,
before all that, before My Hero, heck, even before Black Clover,
they will never understand.
They just don't understand
what it's like to, like, wait every week for an episode, right?
Absolutely, because
next
you got streaming service
Dragon
now.
Ball Z
or Naruto.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z,
I'm gonna be
Goku
Hokage.
summoned the Spirit Ball.
Exactly, like they have all these epic sayings
man.
in the previews and this old music, like everything, like the feeling
and even
originality.
Bleach.
Yeah,
Even
The moment I see the to be continued thing at the bottom, I'm like, I want this next episode right now.
it's like I need it now, but it just be like that. I just have to wait.
I'm over here firing Getsuka Tenchos every day till I get that next episode.
Exactly.
Like, come on, man. Like, where is it?
And here's the thing.
Yeah,
Bleach has impacted my life so much that I would sometimes repeat Getsuga Tensho as Johnny Yambachi's voice to myself. That's how much it impacts. And I'm sure many people who are big Bleach fans would say the same thing. Like,
it's
you can't.
the same with Dragon Ball, man. When you imagine
Means you don't
yourself
get a
doing a
exact-
Kamehameha,
Exactly.
Like that's our boy, man.
Exactly, man.
Exactly.
like,
Yo, shout out
it's
to
just-
Johnny Young again, man. He's such a freaking goat. He's Johnny Young.
He is the GOAT, man. He is the GOAT.
Like, Ichigo just wouldn't be Ichigo without
Without
Johnny.
Johnny, man.
Wait, he really wouldn't.
And
Like,
I have
it's
to
the
give
same
props.
thing.
I have
no
to give
disrespect
props
to the Japanese.
I have to
go
give
ahead.
props to what's the name? Kyle Abear, the voice of Aizen.
Yeah,
The best portrayal of Sosuke Aizen.
he sounds so cocky with that voice.
So cocky,
it's
so
amazing.
smooth, so smooth.
I think it's like the most
So
casual
sinister.
compliment.
It's
And
just
it, like,
amazing what he did with that character, man.
Exactly. I'm like, when
And
I'm
people
looking at this
disrespect the
character,
dub, man.
exactly. The moment when Aizen is leaving, and he just takes the glasses off, slick his hair back.
Oh no.
The voice.
Thanks, brother.
Cool me off.
Right there.
Cool him off.
Slick the hair back.
Let him breathe. Oh my goodness.
Oh
Man,
my god.
This guy, he needs an Oscar.
Right
He needs
There's complete quiet right here. We're just letting it all out, man. Letting it all out. It's on my Boruto, but you know what? Please gotta get a little bit of love in this.
Please gotta get that.
Get that love, man.
Oh no, but yeah, like these voice actors, all of them were perfect for the roles
Yeah.
they were given. Just perfect fits.
Especially the speeches in
Yeah.
these. It's just too good.
Mayuri Kuratsuchi.
Oh,
I'll
it's
never
especially-
forget his
The
perfection.
perfect being, you
Exactly. His
Exactly.
perfection
Is,
speech.
maybe I'm stupid, but I swear his voice is it the same voice actor as Frieza? And maybe I'm stupid.
No,
right?
no.
No.
No,
It
no.
sounds-
In
I
in
can look him up.
Japanese-
I
In
can look him
Japanese
up.
it is.
I know in the Japanese it is. In
Yeah, the
Japanese
Japanese
it is.
it
I
is.
always get that. I always get
I
that
can
mixed
look him up.
I think no.
No,
It's-
I'm gonna look him
But
up.
he definitely
He
the
is
English
very
dub
good.
and everything.
It's close, but
Yeah,
it's not.
like
It's not the same
the
person.
English-
Okay, I found him. His name is Terrence Stone.
Ah, okay. All right,
Terrence
okay.
Stone.
Frieza was
Yep,
voiced
he's
by
did-
who?
And I had his name and I lost it. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Wait, the English dub.
Yeah.
Linda Young.
Yep. So there's two. Well, actually, there's three
Well,
now.
it's
There's
alright,
two.
probably.
There's three English dubs for Frieza. You have Linda Young.
Yeah.
Then you have Chris Iries, who was he made his debut for Frieza in Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Lord
That's where I grew up.
Damon Mills.
And then Damon Mills, he came and replaced for Chris Iries when he was still in the health condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think
But he definitely-
at some point then Chris Iries definitely come back
Mm.
during I think in the hundreds or maybe earlier than that.
Okay.
But yeah, like Myoti's English dub voice actor always gave like, and it's obviously with the Japanese, you got the same voice actor there but he always
Right.
the English dub always gave me that kind of Frieza vibe, but it was like good.
Exactly.
It
I can't
worked,
imagine
you know?
anime without.
And,
dub.
and here's the thing with the music background behind his speech is what made it absolutely
yeah.
perfect. Talking about perfect while having a perfect music background for it. It's just
Cell would be proud.
the piano playing behind it and just pretty much diving down to the idea of perfection and how it just is non-existent. It's just completely mind-blowing.
I'm not gonna lie, like I've there's been times where I've kind of semi-quoted things from that speech in a way. There's been a few times because to me, there's aspects of that speech that I really do actually believe in, like the idea of perfection not being something that should be a goal.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be, because once you're perfect, that's it. There is no
Exactly.
progression. There is no
There's
improvement.
no
Anything.
room to learn more.
Yeah.
And when you realize when you're living in the world, you always learn about something. So the
Every day,
idea
every day.
of, so the idea of a perfect is that you're at this state where everything else is completely unnecessary. Like we're at the moment where you're perfect, it's just like Mayuri and you said. That's it.
That's it. You're done. You're done. You know, he made it to level 20, and that's it. You're done. You're not getting.
Right.
You're not gonna ever reach level 30. It's just not gonna happen. You're quote unquote perfect now. So
It's like saying that you've lived life to the fullest. So what's the purpose of continuing to live?
like it's such a good speech in so many ways. I think that we kind of hit the big portion of that. It's just perfection should not be a
Right.
goal. I know that there's a such thing as perfectionists out there, right? That you want to get everything to the T, but don't make perfection specifically a goal for yourself. If anything,
Exactly.
try to perfect your skills and whatnot, and obviously, keep improving them. But don't make
Right.
that your sole goal at the end of That's my advice anyway. Coyote man, I love though that we're talking about Bleach straight, like we're getting into some Bleach now.
We were on the
Well,
Boruto
Boruto's
topic,
kinda like, guys, I'm still
we're
here.
just jumping
Like
around.
Boruto.
Have to edit
Yeah, we
this
just-
like crazy when this is done, man.
You know, that's how podcasts go. That's how
Yeah, I
podcasts go.
guess it's just gonna be a pain for me.
Or could this be
This could
or
just be like
we could just
I
have
gotta name this something else now.
so name it like
You know,
Boruto, comma
Yeah, like
think
random chat and all that.
Mangaka Life.
keep the same title, as obviously that's like the beginning of the stream,
Yeah.
and maybe even
Yeah.
there'll be
Boruto
timestamps.
Talk, Mangaka Life, and all that jazz.
There's gonna be
Right.
like timestamps for certain aspects of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Going back to Boruto, Yonko Productions video. Did you guys see my comment? I'm gonna read it right now. I have the comment here.
Yeah,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
It's the comment he pinned. All right, like he fully agreed. I'm just gonna read it right now. I'm gonna say I agree with all of his points, but at the same time, I do not. And this was kind of me back then sticking up for Boruto, which I still kind of do because I believe Boruto can be something else. I believe it can be better, like with time, you know, because you guys know about that whole Kawaki stuff, and oh man, I just wish that would happen already.
Yeah.
Freaking Kawaki,
Oh
man.
my
Like,
god.
Just bring them on. Just bring them on there.
Just do it. Like the people want it, man. Like that's
Tell
what you
'em just-
started
tell
with,
'em
you just
and
need
then
it.
you just jump into all this stuff that nobody wanted.
Exactly.
But anyway, I'll read this comment. So it's half and half for me. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the series is okay. I said it was good, but now I'm saying it's okay. But it will never be what the original Naruto and Shippuden series were. People have to remember that this is a spin-off or something like that. Just Shueisha simply trying to milk the Naruto series further after its amazing ending. So they figure, let's continue with Naruto-san. Why not? It'll be great. It's money in our pocket. We need to keep Naruto going somehow. From what I heard, Kishimoto was first against Shueisha adapting it. And this is just something I heard. I don't know if this is true, but I could imagine that Kishimoto said this kind of thing. He probably didn't want it. But they begged him to continue it. That's just something I heard. Now, not sure if that part is true, but Boruto, with the whole in times of peace and Naruto being Hokage setting that it has, things are far more quiet. It's just not comparable to the moments the original Naruto had, you know, say when, you know, the war still technically existed. Epic moments like when Lee dropped those weights in front of Gaara. You guys know, man. That was really, really just intense, man.
powerful.
Yeah.
Oh my God! People still talk about that moment to this
Preach,
day.
bro.
Man. To this day.
Crunchyroll loves that.
Oh my God!
They've tweeted about it at least a couple times, man.
They
Like,
did,
it's
man.
Yeah.
It's
freaking
nuts.
legendary, man. It's
Or
such
when
a-
Sasuke went legit crazy and broke that Sound Ninja's arms. Like,
Oh
boy.
yeah.
Soccer ain't know whether to feel
and then
amazed
meanwhile
or
you're looking at
terrified.
Boruto. Meanwhile, they're like just like, what's going on here, man? What happened to all
Exactly.
this stuff? Like it's all censored now, man.
Right, exactly.
And the epic moment.
And you know what?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Because I was talking about it earlier, right? About how old school Naruto, you know, kind of maybe relates to more early 2000s and all that.
Yeah.
And then maybe Boruto kind of relates more to today. You know, maybe that's kind of a reason, just hear me out here, but maybe that's kind of a reason why its fans, maybe specifically the fans of the series, maybe whether or not they've watched, you know, the original Naruto and whatnot, but like maybe in a way that might be why people might gravitate to the series, is maybe it somehow relates to them in terms of like, you know, modern day so much. Like maybe that's one way to kind of look at it.
Yeah.
Because as far as enjoying it goes, right? Like if you enjoy a series, regardless of what it is, you enjoy the series. But when it comes to Boruto specifically, like as far as being a Naruto fan, it's it's just like it's a head scratcher for me. It's like I wonder what people are specifically enjoying about this. Like,
It's the fact that
well, I'm not enjoying it. What is it?
the
What could it
people
be?
that grew up with Naruto, you know, the people like us today who are just old now and just
Yeah, those
concluded Shippuden,
Right.
we
We're old
just
fans.
said it was done. We just said it was done. Kishimoto said it was done, so we were like, okay, we're done. And then we didn't expect to get Boruto, but as soon as Boruto got its manga,
Nope.
right? We just knew it was
Nope.
coming, man. We knew the anime was gonna come after this.
Right.
'Cause we knew how greedy Shueisha is, man. Oh God. But I mean, like another epic moment when the third Hokage fought Orochimaru in that barrier. Oh good lord,
Oh,
that was nuts.
Seal,
Yeah.
bro. Oh my
Orochimaru
god.
was something else,
Even
fam.
that,
That was
yeah.
way before we even knew about Madara. That was nuts. This
And
back when Orochimaru was the main.
you gotta mention some Shippuden
bro.
good fights. I mean,
Oh,
like,
no.
what's the name?
Can I be real with you? Can I be real with you guys, man?
Yeah, go ahead and be real,
Oh.
man.
Out of every single fight, I can't even lie. I cannot lie. Out of every single fight, even Naruto versus Sasuke, their final fight, even over that fight, the one fight that I hold over every single fight in the entirety of the Naruto series, even Boruto content, is Madara's introduction into the war.
Oh,
yes, man.
In my personal opinion, in my opinion, dog, in my perspective, that is the single greatest way to introduce your true threat. Like,
Exactly.
dog, and it
It's
kills
the
me
way
because
he said
that-
it too.
he
way
shut those
he came
people
in.
down.
He shut them down. He
bodied
went through a
everything.
whole speech talking about how hope
Bodied everything.
is the same thing as giving up. And then he made
it
a
was-
true threat
Oh my god.
after that. And I'm like,
Like, it-
The first
Oh,
time they
Naruto
spoke Madara's
weakly
name,
compared to my
Madara's like,
the first time
And-
they
It's
mentioned Madara, in, what was it? Not the first episode. It was a couple episodes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they found Sasuke, and Kurama was talking about Madara.
yeah.
Madara. Oh, my
Your
God.
eyes
Like,
are the same as Madara's.
and might I add for my boy Madara real quick, yo, screw Kaguya. I'm sorry, like I like Kaguya, but I hate her at the same time,
Oh, not many people.
and not
like
even
her,
as a
man.
villain.
Yeah, not many people like her.
Yeah,
It's-
I don't know.
Like
I mean, like, she's
content.
really,
like
No.
today. I'm
she's more like a manipulate being right now.
Doesn't
Like,
have what Madara has.
like I don't like her as a character. I just like her as a concept, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, like-
but she did not deserve to take away what Madara was built to be. If anything, like that's where Shippuden. I was
Exactly,
Kinda, I was a little tilted.
I didn't
okay?
really see Kaguya as the true villain of Shippuden at all.
Man, I
Like,
it was
enjoyed Obito more than her, man.
exactly.
It was a mythos. It was like a lore-based thing. Where
I
like,
enjoyed
this
Pain
ancient
more than
being-
Pain was
Kaguya.
sick, man. Pain
Right,
was
like
like
this
my
ancient-
favorite.
kind of like a throwaway line or just like a piece of lore in the world of Naruto. And that was all she kind of was, made to be at first. And then plot twist, she's actually here and she's taking Madara's
Exactly.
place. Okay, bye, Madara. We didn't build you up for over 100 freaking episodes. Bye.
Exactly.
Dog,
Man,
I still, man.
Oh god. When it came to Pain, he was speaking straight facts about the world.
Yeah, he
Straight
is,
facts.
man. Straight facts. Yep. But
Hey,
you know what
Naga's
was really
also-
good for that moment though? The moment when Black Setsu had betrayed Madara.
Oh yeah, Black Tetsu.
That was that
That
to be
was
expected? Did anyone expect that?
Like it
Kind of did, but it's just the
kind of
way
because
that
must expect. That's a lie.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it so much as I suspected that there was something more to him. Because
yeah.
there was always like
Yeah.
this little shroud of mystery around him because you could never really always tell what his
Didn't even
intentions
know
were.
what he was.
Right.
Not so much White Setsu, but more towards just Black Setsu on his own. Like,
He was
kinda
Right.
didn't know what his
interesting-
motive
He was an interesting character.
yeah.
Like without really knowing too much, he really was,
And the same goes for Obito, like the whole mystery surrounding
Obito,
like who's under the
Yeah.
mask? Like Everyone
Yeah, it
speculated.
was under the
That was the
mask.
big thing. Speculations was the huge thing surrounding Naruto.
Yeah, and I
That's the
actually got
world building.
confused. I actually got confused, and I got the misconception that Toby was actually Obito, but in reality, it was really White.
Yeah.
And it was like,
It's like, wait,
who
what?
would have guessed? So I'm like, what? That's what I thought. So I'm like, what?
Nandato?
How?
We told, and the thing is like, if I recall, I think I might have seen like some instances where people might kind of clown or joke around when it comes to Obito's like story, but it really does hit. But you know whose hits just as much as Obito's? You know him as the GOAT, but he also goes by Kakashi Sensei. You know what I'm saying? Listen, listen. Our man's Kakashi, dog. He's one of the most like honestly almost every single character as far as the original Naruto cast, like they all have in their own ways tragic stories except for probably and maybe Choji. Yeah, but anyway, like Kakashi, dog, he's got such a tragic story to him, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then when you add in the bits with Obito and
it really
dog,
just hit the feels
The feels, man.
for Obito's part too, and it really just hit the feels.
And like
Naruto had so much that just Boruto can't pull it off.
Right.
It's just
you know
not
what they also
the
could have
same.
done? You know what like hypothetically in another alternate universe, this could have happened instead. Instead of us just jumping to like the Boruto movie and then eventually got the manga and then eventually got the anime, they low-key could have, after the last Naruto the movie, they low-key could have just kept going with that and just had like a progression of them becoming adults. And then maybe towards the very, 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 very end of the series, hypothetically, if it were to continue in that way, then like, oh, maybe they're gonna have kids, and then they built up like a special episode where Naruto and Hinata are gonna have a kid or something crazy like that. Whatever. And that could be towards like the very, very end of the series. That, my opinion, that could have been just as interesting. Like, to be honest, if not more interesting, is seeing, how Naruto would then grow into the Hokage, right? And how Sasuke would deal with problems outside of the village. If anything, at the end of the day, what really, 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 as far as I've seen, has still continued to draw in fans the most, besides maybe Kawaki singular, just Kawaki, that's it, is Naruto and Sasuke. So when you think about it, there's just as much focus that is heavily focused on when it comes to those two in Boruto. So if you were going to do that in the first place, and if you're going to do that all along, you might well have just story still. If anything, if they really, really wanted to keep milking Naruto, that's what they could have done. Because, for example, I think it was the creator that was, I guess, building up to some spin-off or something for Sasuke, where he'd be outside the village, Shinden, right? Or something like that, right? If I recall, it was something like that. And it ended up getting canceled. It's Shinden. I think it was like something like that. It was something like that. I think that's what it was called, right? And like that was, I'm gonna be real, man. I was so excited for that at first, and then when it got freaking canceled,
why'd they cancel?
I can't remember. There was a reason. Somebody leave a comment on that if we don't figure it out. But
Why
I
does
can't remember
Boruto
why.
consist of so many fillers? My question.
No, we don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
We don't know.
No idea.
Why? This filler going out right now seems to be the most interesting one that people are looking at.
If you want my thoughts, I'm thinking that it kind of leads up to the whole process of how anime actually kind of builds up, because it's kind of expected that anime is not going to be the exact copy of a manga. I'm sure we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
So it's even some minor changes could be completely out of the ordinary of a manga. So yeah, exactly. So when you think about that, the fillers are more like a way to escape from the manga source material from being too consistent. But the idea of having that much non-canon material in an anime
Yikes.
gets kind of boring, and all of a sudden you have viewers that are all of a sudden they're disinterested in the series,
Fall
where
off.
that kind of come in the long run, and then just
Mm.
it just kind of falls out into something like Boruto is just coming up right now. So
Mhm.
what I think is that the anime is probably going through some sort of process that is necessary for it to keep to try to potentially keep the anime hyped up. I don't know, that could be inaccurate, but it kind of had the same thing for Bleach in a way, because at least for Bleach it was organized in a way. Not always, but it was organized. The moment that we hit to a cliffhanger for Bleach, all of a sudden we get like a 20 to 30 episode, or maybe even less. So I think the Riichio arc was like 10 or 10 or less episodes ahead. I don't even remember, but you get those. But those are definitely organized in a way, which is not always that bad. But when you have filler after filler after filler after filler after filler and continue on until infinity, that's where it kind of just gets like, that's where it just kind of gets like, okay, what the hell am I doing? Why am I watching this?
Like this, dog, you have a manga series. We're not even going to title it. It's just a manga series. And everybody's reading it at first. And so far, for the first 10 chapters, it's all canon. And then out of nowhere, they start releasing chapters and put up top in the corner so you can see every page, not canon. All of it. So you and then you're just like, okay, well, it's just one non-canon piece of material, but I'll read it. Next week, another one, and it keeps freaking going. Like,
exactly.
Here's where, if you think about that process, at that point, you as a fan, you're like, well, why am I reading this if this literally has nothing to do with anything? And it's just kind of here. Like, granted, there are certain anime that actually benefit from fillers in certain ways, and Bleach happens to be one of them. For instance, there was a movie in Bleach that technically wasn't canon as far as we knew.
Right.
But thanks to the end of the manga, it's essentially kind of sort of canon.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know if y'all know which one I'm talking about.
Memories of Nobody.
Good old, yep, there it is. Good old Memories of Nobody.
That was one of my favorite ones. By that and Hellverse.
That was like a situation where an anime or series, should I say, benefited off of something that technically was not canon. Another instance, which, here I go, Dragon Ball has definitely benefited off of non-canon material. Gogeta, Brawly, the final Kamehameha.
Exactly.
But those three things were all non-canon things that practically all the fans thought, including myself, thought that would never be in canon. Now they're in canon. And
just think about it. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, the first movie, it was heavily impacted. It was heavily impacted that in the early 2019, they made a movie that was influenced by that movie that was non-canon. Because Toriyama was heavily impacted by that success.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew that people actually loved Broly.
I think Tenkaichi 3's intro and also the Budokai 3 intro also, kind of contributed to that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that little
Budokai 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of thing like I was really just thinking about that when Broly was announced. So I'm thinking right back because I did have Budokai 3 and I used to play it. And then there was just this fight. It was the fight with Gogeta and Broly. So I'm like, will this ever become a reality? And then here you are.
And it did.
And it happened.
It becomes like one of the best movies ever made.
Exactly.
Absolutely. It was a great time to be an anime fan in general. Just in general, it was a great time. And the reason why I even brought this up in the first place is because that's an example of how you do filler or non-canon material and you do it right. Like that's where it's actually if you can make your filler content and your non-canon content useful and actually be impactful in some way to the overall story and canon plot, then you're doing something right, in my opinion. So when it comes to Boruto, none of the non-canon material is even being utilized. It's just not canon, and that's it.
There's
like, as far as I've seen, anything for the story.
I think it's just like Boruto in the beginning was mirroring, he was copying and pasting scenes. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, there were certain things that were the same from the original Naruto. Just, I don't know, it was a little bit cringy. I don't know. Like, for instance, when Boruto kissed Sarada in the class. Okay. Listen. Copy and pasted those scenes, bro.
And
I'm like,
why?
Oh man, hold up.
Here's the thing, dog. Oh, I'm so happy you brought that up, man. Okay, listen. Here's the thing, because I get it. It might come off as a copy and paste. At the same time, it was one of the few things that I actually semi-enjoyed. There's only one reason for that, technically, but I'm gonna just speak for, because I know you're out there. I know y'all are out there. The people that might be kind of interested in what would happen to Boruto and Sarada, growing up, eventually started a relationship, for example, just hypothetically. I'm one of those people that's like a casual, because there's a difference between, okay, you're being a little bit toxic about your ship, and then you're like, oh, just kind of casual, like, oh, what if it happened? That could be interesting. That's me. I'm like, it'd be interesting if those two maybe had a relationship. So it's kind of funny that they utilize something as a reference from back in old school Naruto. Oh, stupid little kissing, Naruto Sasuke, oh my god. And freaking, how many people have held that over Naruto, the series? Like, how many freaking people have held that over its head? Like, oh, you guys had the nasty kissing scene. Oh, that was so bad. No, stop that. It was just a joke. But yo, when they had that with Boruto and Sarada, I'm like, so first of all, it's a reference. Second of all, okay. And third, is it gonna mean anything later? But that was just like, that was just like my head canon at that point.
I don't know.
But even still, like, I can see why it's cringe though. At the same time, like it
was okay.
Copy and paste aspect of it. Like, man, if you're looking at it from that perspective.
Can you imagine what it'd be like if those two actually didn't end up together?
Man.
And then if they had a kid, an Uzumaki and a Uchiha having a kid.
Strongest.
Just imagine that.
And the Hyuga gene.
That's just
my
crazy.
God.
Hyuga gene.
Rashawn winning Byakugan.
Oh,
a Byakugan. A Sharingan and a Rasengan.
Amount of chakra. Dog, you have the strongest character in Naruto, and that cannot be refuted. I'm sorry, bro.
That's crazy.
It doesn't matter.
That would be crazy. Both a Sharingan and a Rasengan.
Let me point this out, because we're inclusive here on this podcast. But dog, it doesn't matter if it was a boy or a girl. Either way, they're gonna be the strongest freaking ninja that was ever birthed in the series. I'm sorry.
If they're that strong when they're a kid, wait until they get older.
It'll be the whole Kage, Mizukage, the Kazekage, everything. They'll just be everything.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine, man.
They'll be everything.
Oh man,
I mean,
it's over. It's over. You can't get any better than that.
That ninja will be the ninja way, if you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I mean, back to the whole mirroring
Oh.
situation. Like, even like other kids, like, brought on, they got their parents' habits. Like Shikamaru's kid, he calls everything a drag too. Like,
exactly.
The series.
To be honest, that's a copy and paste.
The series is somewhat good with character building and special lessons, which I highly enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
But other than that, like, fans hunger for seriousness in this series, man.
We do. Oh yeah.
I'm not saying
like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't just try to copy and paste the dialogue for a kid version of what you're known to be to try to make it look good.
Yeah.
It's not. That's.
Like,
I guess that's what they're trying to do now. Like,
I'm not saying Boruto didn't get serious like later on. I mean, we got the Momoshiki stuff.
Sasuke versus Momoshiki.
Yeah.
because of course,
Just-
you know, it did get serious at that point. But the first part of it all, like before the time skip, is very slow for the most part, and
Exactly.
basically goes on with Boruto complaining about his father, who actually worked hard to get where he is,
He
with
is.
no clear understanding of what his father even went through as a
It's
child.
just ignorance is just bliss.
Exactly. But
He's a
above all
model
else,
student.
it's good to see
Man.
Boruto and, you know, where he is with, you know, hold on. It's good to see
Right.
Boruto and, you know, the other Leaf Shinobi. We still get to see the original full-grown ninjas aside from Naruto that we grew up watching.
Exactly.
That much impresses me because we get to see what they made of themselves. For instance,
Mhm.
you know, Shino became a teacher. Wow.
Yeah.
Like
Good
that's
job,
kind of
Shino.
unexpected.
And at the end, he said he probably would. He would consider doing that.
Yeah.
When you think about
And
it,
he
like
did.
now he can't be ignored because he's going to be surrounded by
Exactly.
kids.
What if-
You can't ignore the teacher.
Boruto's not a bad series. Like, I think with the new generation, right, that's growing up, you know, because like our generation, we grew up with Naruto. This new
I think
generation's
I think
growing
like
up
when
with Boruto.
we put our critique for Boruto, and then you have the younger generation that comes up and say, "Hey, why would you talk about that?"
Mhm.
Well, what they fail to understand is that we actually experience like what the anime was intentionally supposed to look like
Originally,
before
yes,
Boruto
We
even
came from the
came in the picture.
we
Everything
came
was
from the
just
roots of
more
what would
serious.
eventually make this big tree.
Everything was
You
just
know?
more
Exactly.
serious in the original Naruto franchise.
Everything is serious. There's a lot of pain, suffering, and people
Yeah.
going through something in their lives.
Like in the beginning of Naruto, you had what was that arc called? With Zabuza and
Oh
Haku.
my god.
See,
I forgot what the arc was called.
That
I know what
arc
you're talking
hit
Yeah.
me so hard. It's just the way everything went down in that arc, man. And that, like, with the dub, it was just perfect, man. It was just perfect. Like the way Naruto was just like that one scene where Naruto was telling Zabuza, "This isn't right. This isn't like what you should be doing to this
Right.
kid." And like when Zabuza started crying, I just got hit
Exactly.
hard, man. I got hit hard. I was.
Anime
Well, you know what
crying
really hit me
myself.
hard though? What really
That-
hit me hard is when Naruto calls him Pervy Sage.
Oh,
When
boy.
yep,
Woo, oh man, rest in peace. Rest in peace,
Jiraiya.
boy,
So Jiraiya,
F in the
Jir-
chat for Jiraiya. Hello.
F in the chat.
Oh, man. F in the chat, bro. Oh my god. What a
But when,
goat, bro.
in Shippuden, so Shippuden I grew up with. So when I watched Shippuden, when Jiraiya got killed, it put a hole in
Even
my heart.
Shippuden, like Shippuden was
Oh,
like,
my.
It put a
It's-
hole in my heart.
it's just the way you the
Sorry,
way we
real
see
quick.
it here.
Do. We're having to go cue sadness and sorrow right now.
I don't know what it
man.
was, but like just growing up as the show was continuing, right? We were just growing up like same way like Naruto. Like Naruto, I was around the same age as Naruto when I started the series. Like, how old was Naruto? We were all. I think we're all around the same age. People around this time were around the same age as Naruto when they started the franchise. I think.
In other words, we kind of grew
most
up with
people.
him and the other.
And so just growing up, and like, it was crazy. When Shippuden started, I was 16, 17-ish, and that was around the same age Naruto was. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like, this show is progressing, like, really well. Like, it's nuts. Like, it's just, it's a coincidence.
And that's the
some
same thing
crazy
with
stuff,
Bleach.
man.
That's the same thing with Bleach.
Bleach, man.
I was
Yeah.
I was 15 when I started watching Bleach. Ichigo was fucking 15.
That's nuts. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, man. That's crazy.
Ichigo could
You
have
don't get the same experience.
15 years old. Like,
I was
come on.
15.
How old
I
was
actually
Ichigo?
thought, like, for a moment when I started watching it, I thought to myself, like, I was fucking Ichigo.
I could be Ichigo.
I could be Ichigo.
This is me.
I'm not as tall as him, but I could do it.
And I got it. I can dye my hair. Yo, but jumping back to Boruto real quick, because you know what? You mentioned cringe. Here's the thing, dog. This was my big red flag for Boruto, specifically the anime.
What, copying Naruto's moves?
Out of no, not you might be surprised by this. Out of everything that was going down and what was kind of like foreshadowed or hinted out with like promotional stuff and whatnot, the biggest thing for me was actually not even the main cast. It was one character.
Oh God.
Character's son that I was particularly interested in. My boy, Rock Lee's son. Listen to me. When they showed that he had a son, I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
We about to have the
Yeah.
next legend right here. I was like, listen, if this kid is his son, I don't care who the mom is. If this is Lee's son, this man better be 10th gate by like age 16.
Rock
He
Lee
better
was
be
slept
on
on,
somewhere.
man.
Dog, like it's crazy to think about that. We never even got to see like Lee go to the 8th gate. Of course, we got Guy, which my God, Guy going 8 gates. Oh my heart, bro, when he went 8 gates.
Dude,
dog.
after a
The
certain
fact
point.
that,
Yeah, go ahead.
like the fact that we got to see Guy do it, and more importantly, man, like you got to see exactly how powerful. Like this was something that was built up back in Naruto before Shippuden. It was built up. The idea of the 8 gates and all of them being released. You get Guy versus Madara. The man became so powerful that even against a godlike being in the universe, Madara, it still took off an entire portion of his body. Like that's how powerful the 8 gates were. It was no joke. Like that felt so rewarding because if you were a fan that started from the beginning, you got to see everything, all the slight mentions of it, the fight with Gaara and Lee. And then you skip to then, and you see the 8 gates, and you see what it could truly do.
Kishimoto's a genius, man.
Yep.
And then in the back of your head, at least for me, I was like, so when's Lee gonna do it? Which unfortunately, he never did. But
never.
actually, I was kind of sad. I'm so sad about it. But
Lee had some awesome moments, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have his son. And I'm like, bro, this kid could be a legend. This kid could be something else.
Right.
And when that episode dropped, where they were like, well, not even before that, when they had the end credit for whatever episode it was before that, where they were like, they showed off Lee's son in there. I'm like, this is what I've been waiting for. I get to that next episode, and Meta Lee is a complete clown. It's not even like like my guy. What are you doing? You're tripping on a shred of grass. Whose man's is this? This cannot be Lee's son. I refuse to believe that this is Lee's son. Lee, speaking of Guy, the guy named Guy that bodied Madara, and you're telling me that this is their legacy? That this is what we have to look forward to? This kid right here, that's him. Really?
Oh no!
I was heartbroken.
I can't believe you've done this.
I was depressed. I was distraught. My dreams of the potential of Boruto was crushed in that episode. In that episode, I knew that red flag, it came up from the ground and it said, it's time to leave. You need to go. And I'm like, you're right, before my heart gets broken anymore. And I took off running, bro. I got that Naruto running. I went to Area 51 and I never came back. That was one of the biggest things for me that I was really looking forward to. And they crushed it in an instant.
I don't know what you were expecting.
If I had to describe what it felt like a normal
You just wasted your time.
ninja, a normal ninja was just casually walking through the Hidden Leaf Village, and out of nowhere, oh mighty push, bam! I'm just on the floor. I'm just on the floor, and I'm in pain. I'm in pain for no reason. No reason. I man.
Right in the feels, but not in the good way.
That's what hit me with the Boruto series, which told me I'm about to be so disappointed from here on, and that's what broke me. It broke me. I'm sorry. It did, because like Lee because we were talking about it earlier. We talked about it earlier about his fight with Gaara, dropping the weight. That's a character right there. That's a legendary character,
Oh,
my
man.
opinion. As far as
Lee
anime
had
is
some
concerned,
legendary moments, man.
it's a legendary character.
Yeah.
What about?
And you're telling me that his son's a joke?
Remember when Lee fought Kimimaro? That was sick. Oh boy!
Like take out Gaara for a minute. Just Lee taking on the man got drunk, dog. The man got drunk.
Remember when
but
Lee
he was
was
still
drunk?
like, oh, freaking the drunken fist, man.
was
It
nuts.
was entertaining. And then they freaking brought it back in one of their movies. What the heck was it called? Oh my god, it was a movie called. I think it was like the sixth movie. I can't remember, but they did actually bring it back. It was a Shippuden movie. They brought back the drunken fist with Lee. Granted, obviously he's older, so it was such a good little fight scene there. But man, like Lee's just such a big character for me. And then just like seeing his legacy just get spat on, and then also fall to the ground because literally Meta Lee fell to the ground from nothing. He basically tripped over air. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? That's not his son. That's not his son. He is adopted. I was like, I just couldn't believe it, man. I could not believe it. So like, sure, right? As far as Boruto fans go, maybe y'all thought that was funny. Maybe y'all thought that was comedic. Maybe you liked the episode, whatever, and whatever other content came out of Metal League. Because I know that they brought Guy Sensei back, and I think there was like some kind of training session with that too. Whatever. Sure, you can enjoy it. And again, there's no disrespect to you, but like, dog, as far as Naruto's concerned, man, like as a series, God, it's characters like Lee. It's characters like Lee that made me so invested. And then to just watch something like that, like,
You know what bugs
my
me
heart.
is when there are certain people out there that actually say that Boruto is better than the original Naruto.
I knew it.
Bro,
I knew it.
I
felt that
get
coming
so
on.
offended. I get
Oh,
so offended so
no.
easily. The moment I hear somebody said that out of their
I
mouth,
don't care if you're
I'm like,
trolling. I don't
it
want to hear
doesn't
that. I
matter.
don't want to see it.
That is an insult.
That's a no.
My friends, like, here's the thing, because people be like, oh, people are so sensitive. Oh, you're so sensitive. Here's the thing. This is the one time that I'm gonna justify being sensitive. Because as far as being a Naruto fan is concerned, that's insulting. That is insulting.
Exactly.
Bro. First off,
Compare
that's
everything.
like saying Dragon Ball Super is just completely 100% better than Dragon Ball. Without Dragon Ball, without Naruto, there would be no Boruto, there would be no Super.
Exactly.
What are you doing? No, stop. like maybe you
Right.
enjoyed them more. That's one thing. You can't. Nobody can take that away from you. But without one, the other could never exist to begin with. What are you doing? Stop.
In a
Just
sense,
stop.
when it comes to
Don't do
Dragon
this.
Ball, I could say that you guys obviously watched the original Dragon Ball, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You guys know how good the original is, like the original Dragon Ball. Because like, I think I tweeted on this long ago, but I said it's more interesting. Like in a sense, it's way more interesting than Z. Even I would have to say, just the way they focused purely on martial arts.
It was a beginning, man.
Right,
like, and it was.
They
It wasn't
focused
about
purely
what race.
on
Exactly.
of enemy you
martial
are and all
arts
that.
and
It
the
went from
tournaments.
martial arts until you get to Z, where the world could come to an end.
The tournaments
The
and
literally-
the
Planets
build-up
could be destroyed.
and the training
Well, that's not it. Well,
and all these
there was like
super
there was like
interesting
world,
characters.
Exactly.
there was like worldly like threats, like, oh, like maybe the idea of
Yeah.
Goku becoming a great ape or something. But
Yeah.
there
But
wasn't
you know
like,
what
oh,
I
yeah,
will agree
and a
on?
snap of a finger.
You know what I will agree on for Z? When Cell came on the news station, and he actually made the announcement that he was going to do the Cell games, and then if the team loses, it will be the end of the world.
I
Now
will
that
blow up
kind
the
of
earth.
that kind of hit me though.
Yeah.
That really.
No,
if,
I'm not
if
saying,
you watch
like-
Kai, if you watch Kai,
Yeah.
it really did hit. It really does hit me.
I'm not saying Dragon Ball Z was like, I'm not saying Dragon Ball is better than. I did say Dragon Ball is a bit better than Z, but like, Z is
But we're all have a
Z is in a
preference.
league of its own because Z made a
Right.
huge impact. Z made a very huge impact.
Exactly.
Dragon Ball was something that most people would have, looked at after they watched Z. Like I'm one of those people.
Right.
Yeah, I decided, hey, I'll watch Dragon Ball after Z. I'll just start Z first, whatever. I don't fully
Right.
understand this.
Let me put it this way. There's a reason why the video games continue and continue and continue to repeat practically the same story.
Like
Because
Kakarot.
it's because it's a good freaking story. All right, look, maybe you get tired of it, or some fans have. I get it. As far as the video games are concerned.
Like, hey, I'm purchasing Kakarot. I already pre-ordered
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I pre-ordered that
I already
too.
pre-ordered it.
I don't know
a
why
while
people
ago.
complaining about that game.
You know what? The only thing that they're especially complaining about
Is the original storyline
The
and
original
no super in
storyline.
it. There's no
But
super.
here's the thing.
Surprise. You know what? You're both wrong.
But here's the thing. But actually, here's the thing.
Yeah.
When we first hear the announcement for this project, before it was even called Kakarot, it was a Project RPG game.
Yeah.
And we just heard like it was just a story. The trailer was just a story of Goku, just the face of Goku. What was Goku's life? At that point, I'm just like, okay, this is about to be a boring Dragon Ball game. It's just the same story. That I'm not even gonna lie. That was my initial thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But then the moment that they dive in deep from like the E3 and many others, the E3 and many others, and then you do more than just playing the storyline. You actually get to drive in this wide world map.
Yeah. I
And
think
you get
this
to walk down,
idea,
like you actually get to eat with Goku, with Vegeta, Piccolo.
Goku. Come on, bro. You know you want to
like-
eat with Goku.
no,
This
actually,
man.
that's impossible. There's no way this idea was generated from One Piece World Seeker. I mean, it might have been, but
I don't
no.
know
This
about
game
that.
was probably this game was probably in development
Probably in
way
works for a
before
while.
that. It probably was.
Right,
Right.
like as far as the look is concerned, like you'd think it was, considering
It looks
what's being put into
very
it.
similar, but it has its own thing going on there.
I said you're both wrong for a reason, which I never just outright say someone's wrong, but unfortunately in this case, it's actually true. And I hate it because technically speaking, you shouldn't even be wrong. Like technically speaking, what you guys were just talking about, what we were just talking about, is technically should be the right answer. But what fans were especially upset about, it's actually the box art.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
You're definitely right about that.
Because-
See, now when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, it's a fine art.
It's natural.
And then I see people going online
about it.
and just being toxic about it and say, hey, this art is boring. Well,
And
And then people were saying, "Go look at the Spider-Man box art."
exactly,
Exact same.
okay, but here's
exactly,
yeah,
and-
so I'm like telling people like, here's the thing. This is not Spider-Man.
This ain't Spider-Man. This is an anime game.
Exactly.
It's just crazy. It was crazy.
It doesn't have to be the generic type of cover that you would see in any other typical Dragon Ball game. It doesn't have to be.
Because as far as Dragon Ball is
honestly,
concerned,
it
like,
looks fine.
you know,
It's fine.
yeah, it is. And to any of you Dragon Ball fans, like no disrespect, like if you personally just didn't or still don't like how it looks,
You can flip it
that's
over.
your opinion. That's your perspective.
Oh,
You're
okay.
fine
We
with
have two different answers.
like it's okay. It's okay. But
They might have a double side.
you never
Exactly.
even
They
like
might.
we only got to see like one bit of it. We don't even know.
Or
You
look
can
at
flip it over.
it's kind of like
We don't know.
it's kind of like the covers for the Bleach Blu-ray sets. You get like some kind of plain art in the front, but as you open it, there's like Japanese production art within that case.
Mm-hmm.
See now,
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. So see, like people kind of only see what's on the surface. They justify their own opinion on what's on the surface. And now people will have to believe, like, say, okay, this is what I believe. It should be right from now on. And like, it kind of have people thinking like, oh, we're not going to be intellectually challenged based on our justified opinion.
Yeah.
Which is totally not the case, because you're living in a life where many people could have their own opinions.
We're all different.
They're all different in our own way. So it's only foolish to have people just blindly expect that no one is going to say like, hey, this doesn't have to be like this.
Right, like, oh, like I disagree. Like you gotta respect each other's opinions, dog. Like at the end of the day, they're not you. You're not in their minds, they're not in yours. You're gonna have it's literally it's just as inevitable. I can't even speak. It's just as inevitable as Thanos. You're gonna have different opinions. It's just gonna happen. But you know what? And the thing is, like, in my opinion, speaking of opinions, in my opinion, like, it's not like you're even gonna play the game like on the box art or something. It just like we're like, and some people brought this up too when people were freaking out about the artwork for DBZ Kakarot. Like, some people even brought it up, like, yo, that does this little bit of box art does not define the game anyway.
Exactly.
And it's not like you're gonna look at that thing for more than like 5 seconds just to pull out the disc anyway. Why even be worried about it? And that's just my advice. Is like dog, like it's just the box art. Like, the game can be fire. Yo, it's not even out yet.
No, the box art looks like garbage. What are you talking about? I'm not buying the game anymore. Stop.
You missed out on some fire content. Hey, that's you. Like that would be my response to somebody saying that is like, hey, that's you. All right, more power to you if you don't want to play it.
The game's trash.
The game's trash.
The question is, have you played it?
Have you played it yet?
I haven't played it actually.
You haven't played it, so how can you say it's trash?
I don't know. It's just trash.
Why not?
It's just trash because you see other people saying it.
But you don't know.
You don't know exactly. None of these people know either.
There's, people just blindly follow.
It brings
blindly
to
follow.
that whole.
Yeah, go ahead.
It brings to that whole Kevin Hart speech. Yeah. The cool thing is just being different. See, I want to be like, I don't want to be the rest of these contraries. So he'll just say like, man, I hate this. Then another guy thought that was cool and just say, okay, yeah, I hate it too. What y'all talking about?
I get what you're getting at.
It's like he's just saying like, you don't even know what they're talking about, but you want to jump the bandwagon because that's what's cool nowadays.
Oh man. Speaking of just cool, like anything for likes, right?
Right. See now,
anything for the clout.
What Kevin Hart said was what I believe is true, is that being cool is being different. Now, people who have different opinions, I think they're really cool.
You know, you guys really know. You guys know. I'm gonna call him out. You guys know from yesterday. You guys know. I don't like Heavenly Controller. I don't. Actually hate.
Oof.
Oh yeah,
I hate the dude, man.
I think you had told me this.
Just the way he just. God.
Was it the Bleach thing?
But I think
it wasn't even just the Bleach.
I think it comes down to the example of those type of people that feel like their opinions should be justified, or they should be absolute, or they think that their opinions should be correct. And
I don't know.
It's just one of those fallacies that people in our contemporary time, that we can just say whatever we think, whatever we feel, and we feel like our opinions should just add on to be the law. Exactly. And you have to realize of how the world actually works out, how the world came to be, and how we build up to what we are right now. There are many people in this world who are not going to agree with everything that someone says. And it's normal.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, not exactly. Yeah. And then when people would say, is like, hey, this opinion is kind of justified because this person started it and other people are agreeing with it. That further proves that this opinion should be justified. So I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Your opinions are never justified. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Everybody has entitled to their own opinion. I have no problem with someone's opinion. But there's just those people that feel like their opinions should be considered as straight fact without any.
There is opinion and there is fact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I say to myself, I consider GT to be part of a canon, part of the Z universe, where versus
part of me really
obviously,
wishes it's still up,
in reality,
part of me,
it's not.
It makes me cry every day.
Because, I think it's just...
Super Saiyan 4. That's all I got to say. Super Saiyan 4.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
GT was heavily impacted.
It was really good.
By the original Z story. It was heavily impacted. It had so much... I ain't even got the words to describe it. It's just
because it was old and made around... Wait, when was it made?
1990...
Still had the old animation that was very close to Z's. The voice actors were in their prime, because now they sound completely different. Well, some of them do.
Some respects they do.
Some of them do.
But when it...
Sean
as
Shammel's
being
deep voice.
Shemmel, has a deep voice now.
Very deep voice.
So it's not the
as being,
same. Doesn't feel the same. The sound effects, the animation, everything's different.
Yeah, but you know what I really want for Super though? We need Oob. We need Oob.
Oob will come soon. Oob will have his time, I think, soon.
The good news is he is canon. He's completely canon to the story.
Canon.
And he's actually made an appearance in manga, and he's been mentioned in the anime. And the end of Z, for all intents and purposes, is still canon. So we don't have to worry about him not showing up. It's just he hasn't shown up yet. It's kind of weird. But on that discussion of GT, listen. As being as big of a Dragon Ball fan as I am, here's where my perspective is gonna roll in real quick. So with Super and GT, there are majority of fans that are gonna say, Super's better than GT, Super's better than GT, and I get it, and I'm not gonna say whether you're right or wrong.
I get why they say that.
Right, you kind of understand.
Yeah.
Here's something in my perspective and in my opinion that GT has till this day, to be honest, still has over Super. It's that for basically the entirety of it, it kept to the lore of the overall franchise, where Super was adding in new stuff like the gods and all that. GT decided to bring the tail aspect in, decided to bring up remnants of Planet Vegeta, where you had Baby and all that. There was lore being tapped into in order to create new content, and that's in my opinion, when there's a long-lasting series like Dragon Ball where they use the lore to make new content, that is phenomenal to me. Now, here's one of the best ways I can sum it up. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku and Vegeta had to become gods to take on gods and godlike beings. Right. In GT, Goku and Vegeta had to tap into what I dub as the true power of the Saiyans, their true strength, to take on godlike beings. In my opinion, and in how I've looked at it, I kind of prefer GT, Goku, and Vegeta more in that respect. And just when you look at it in that aspect, that's kind of why I like that idea more. Not that I don't like Goku and Vegeta from Super, but even still, GT does have some positives. But the problem is man, what we were talking about a second ago with jumping on a bandwagon and all that. I think it potentially there are those that will jump on that bandwagon of other people that don't like GT and will voice that. There might be people that maybe jump on I don't like it either. But it always breaks my heart because some people maybe haven't even seen GT at this point. They've never even watched it. They don't know the only thing they might know is probably the Shadow Dragons and maybe Super Saiyan 4. also because of the video games. So yeah, but my dog, GT has some really good quality aspects in it. It might not be perfect, but no portion of Dragon Ball, and to be honest, no series ever will ever be perfect. But that's not what makes a series great. It doesn't need to be perfect to be great. Nothing needs to be perfect to be great. We were literally talking about this a minute ago. Mayuri's speech, perfection, that should not be the goal. If anything, just be the best you can be. And the same thing goes for these series that we love, like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball D, all that. Just be the best you can be. And how I look at it is, as far as GT went, it did the best that it could at sticking to the lore of Dragon Ball. And for that aspect of the series, it worked. Yep. And you had something new born from it. Super Saiyan freaking 4. The Shadow Dragons. The Dragon Balls themselves was a key aspect of the story. Where granted, yes, Super does use it because, you got Goku Black using the Dragon Balls, Super Dragon Balls now because that's a new thing. That's great and all, but like, dog, the Dragon Balls were directly involved with the plot. Like straight up, you were actually seeing a manifestation of each Dragon Ball and in a couple of different wishes. Like that was crazy. Exactly. That was crazy, but it worked. I think so for what it's worth. But obviously it was a different time. Granted, hypothetical. If you had GT made today, what could it have been like? You never really know. But for what it's worth, I wish that, and if Toriyama wanted to do this, he could. Honestly, like anything he says goes. Like the S cell, which is basically what it takes to become a Super Saiyan. That's a whole other story. If Toriyama wanted to, he could literally say, you know what, GT's canon, but it's another timeline. I wish he would just do that. The amount of satisfaction in that. Like even if it wasn't to the main storyline, if it was just an alternate universe or something and it was canon, Super Saiyan 4, baby. But then you got Dragon Ball Super Broly. Oh man, this is where I think Super hit a peak, and it might even go past that eventually. It probably there's moral, but I won't get into the manga. I won't get into spoilers or any of that. But Dragon Ball Super Broly, it did technically stick to lore, and I think that was a big aspect of it that I perceived that was like really good about the film and about just that story is that it did technically take from pre-existing story, material. Like the Saiyans on planet Vegeta, Frieza, all that. Oh shoot, there was another Saiyan that lived on another planet, Broly, all that. Like it stuck. It had lore aspects in it that I think really helped the film just be an even better film than it already could have been. So like, and this can apply to any series really. When it comes down to it, then you could like bring this back into like our Boruto discussion. Like, well, Boruto technically sticks to the lore, right? I mean, yeah, it technically does, and I'm not talking about characters. I'm just talking about like aspects of the series. So maybe like certain techniques or something, or maybe the references here and there, which kind of fits in with that. But it's not even about that in this discussion when it comes to Boruto. It's not even about whether or not that series sticks to Naruto's lore. It's not about that. The problem is that it wouldn't matter if it did because it's all filler anyway. like it doesn't even matter. That's a stupid thing. Even if it stuck to the lore, it wouldn't matter because it's not canon, because it's filler, which doesn't really make any sense because it's a series. So why is it not canon? You know what I mean? Like when you really think about that, it just doesn't make any sense. And if any other series did this, they would be punished immediately. Like they would be cockeyed. In other words, they would be taken out. Like no series would be able to really last in that case because nothing to the story is being added, like nothing new or whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about that. That's how Boruto is being handled in that way for the anime anyway. I mean, obviously the manga, it's not filler. You're just getting new stuff or whatever, which I think we can all agree that the manga is definitely better than the anime. Is it the greatest manga of all time? It's very subjective in that case. Is it better than the original series? I'll let you decide. but like no, like even despite like Boruto technically keeping to lore a good chunk of the time, it it just kind of doesn't matter, does it? Like, at least in the anime anyway. Like, it just it's sad to think about. You know, it sucks. It really really sucks. Because at the end of the day, like Boruto, at least at the beginning, had a gigantic amount of potential to be something amazing.
It did.
And you know what?
Yep.
And you know what? Like,
I think it still can be.
yeah. That's a good way to look at it. You know?
We're only like 100 episodes. Oh.
I'm like, the second he said it out loud, he probably thought about it.
See now, what? See now, what I think is that sometimes I just think to myself, like,
oh man, 100. Like, now I think isn't it over 100 by now? Like, isn't it like
100 and almost 30?
100.
Right, like it's been like over a year, and it's it's where it is right now. Like, if I had to give a comparison of something that disappointed me as much as Boruto, here it comes. Are y'all ready for this? There's this thing that I've heard of. Apparently, it's a video game. I guess some people play it, and no disrespect to them. They're living their lives. More power to them. I heard it's like it starts with a J. And it also has an F in it. Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say it was Jump Force. No. I could be wrong. Listen, I'm gonna stop beating around the bush, man. You know what this is, my bro. If there was anything that could possibly rise to the level of disappointment that is Boruto for me,
we won't even speak on the name of that.
Force.
We went.
Oh my God!
We won't even speak of the name.
You could have been
beautiful.
We dare not.
You could have been Subarashi, but you're not. My bro.
We do not.
Oh my God! Do we want to talk about Jump Force? Do we want to talk about this right now?
I think we'll save
no.
We will save that for the next episode.
Yeah, that will be
continued.
Here. No, we need for the next episode for Jump Force. We need
oh man,
like me, Chigo, Platinum.
Yeah, we'll bring in
Bleach.
We'll bring in Nightly Inferno and Bleach Center.
Yeah, we need to bring
something to look forward to, people.
That'll be pretty good.
Boruto versus Jump Force.
We really need to bring all this. But yeah,
crap.
What I was gonna say
That's
in terms of
matchup. Holy crap!
In terms of the for Boruto, I was in terms of that. I was thinking of why couldn't
but like
what? Hold on. Let White go.
Oh, you got
yeah.
You got. Oh, I couldn't even hear him. Go ahead.
Oh, you couldn't hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. So I was thinking of in terms of the Boruto anime, why couldn't it get the same treatment for Black Clover? I think Black Clover is getting really close to the manga right now.
As you guys know, I just started that, so I don't even know what's going on. I'm gonna tell you because I'm like 3 episodes behind on the actual airing. So
I hate to be that
guy. You're in for a show,
and I don't know why, and I'm sad.
Don't spoil.
Say what?
Don't spoil.
I can't hear White. What the heck is going on?
What's going on? Oh, he lost. Just come out of the call and then come back in.
All right.
Hold up.
Just him.
Wait, was it me or?
He can't hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. I don't know.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah,
okay.
Discord's
I'm sorry if I was
like
talking over you or something because I did not hear you. I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
No, that's fine.
Figure that out.
But
how long have we been talking? Oh God, almost 2 hours.
Dang.
Okay, so
maybe you can make
do like 5 more minutes and then I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
So White, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, so I was thinking of in terms of the Boruto anime. Why couldn't it get the same treatment as the Black Clover anime? Because as of right now, at least as far as I'm concerned, I could be wrong on this. They're very caught up with the manga material. At least of what I'm saying, because I've heard I think me and Platinum had a chat with James. I don't know if it's right, but they skipped 20 episodes. I mean, not 20 episodes. They skipped 20 chapters.
They did.
of the manga
Anime.
in the anime. Yeah, so I would say they're at
That's-
least on par with the manga material.
That's questionable.
Yeah, so I'm like, God knows why would they do that?
Why are they doing it? It's really weird.
It's iffy.
Yeah.
Interesting situation. You don't see that every day. You really don't.
Yeah, you really don't.
I don't know. So
Oh, Black Clover.
how do we
It'd be
end,
different.
how are we ending this? I don't even know.
Well, I guess we can. All right, so
Hold
I
on.
guess you can just.
I guess we can just talk a little bit more about Boruto. So anything you guys left out?
I think we're pretty much all solid
I think we've gone through most of it, to be honest.
through most of it. Yeah. So I guess you can probably end it, or you can give a preview of the next episode of what you're got in plans, Platinum. You're the minds of this
Next
series.
time.
Next time on Bleach.
Basically, yeah.
I don't know. I was gonna.
So just tell you can just tell the folks what you got planned for next episode, what the next topic will be.
Next time.
Next time on Bleach.
Yeah.
On this podcast. With probably more guys. We will be discussing
What?
the garbage, the trash that is Jump Force.
Yeah.
What even is that?
Probably comparing some. We'll probably talk about other anime games. We'll probably talk about anime games in general because
Yeah.
anime games in general
That'll be
have just
fun.
been going downhill. Well, there's some exceptions, like you. There's you can know the difference. Like if you see Kakarot, you know it's good. You know it.
Yeah.
But like when you look at something like, I'm gonna go down that road. I'm gonna go to the Black Clover game, the first Black Clover game. Like,
Oh no.
yeah, like compare it to something
Yeah,
like that.
I got
that is garbage.
my first impressions for it were exactly how I would expect it. It's just not.
Yeah, like they
It
could have
didn't sell as much as I heard.
Like I don't even like One's Justice that much. I mean,
Yeah, it was on par with One Justice. They're not selling as much. But,
maybe
My
One's
Hero
Justice
game.
2 will.
Do you
be
think?
better.
Do you think One Justice 2 would do good?
I think they'll improve certain things that the first game didn't do well. You know, they'll improve on things.
Right.
But
Some people said it looks like the same game.
to what degree will they improve these, things?
Oh yeah. Speaking of games, let's talk about what we think about the
Okay.
CC2 upcoming game.
Ooh, I think we should say that for another
Oh.
episode, should we?
Be a part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be a part of the next episode.
We should wait.
maybe.
We should keep these like separate. We should
Yeah.
keep these things separate.
This was
So, yeah,
Boruto. Next is gaming.
Next
Yeah,
is
that could be a
gaming,
potential episode of what we think about CC2.
CC2, and how anime games are basically as a whole.
Yeah.
What we like and dislike about anime games, because anime games are falling off the rails.
Yeah.
All right, so that's another good topic, and there's still a lot more to talk about regarding other things. But I do believe that's it. So I guess we'll wrap it up here, guys. That's
We
it.
can we can definitely introduce ourselves again in case people don't know. And then
So again, today I was joined by White Cold and also Chigo Senpai.
At the artist, just to be clear. But much love to the man Platinum for having us here, man.
Hey, this was
Yeah,
a brand
give
new
a-
idea of mine because, like,
very nice
you
guy.
guys know I'm dry on my channel. I have nothing. I have no
Yeah.
ideas. So this was
That's
like the next best
exactly-
thing.
that's exactly the kind of idea that I would get, but apparently I'm just really busy with life just going on.
Yeah,
And
I hear you, man.
Yeah, we got lives
That's
outside of this stuff, you know. It's all good.
Talking to people is just more efficient.
it's really good, and it's really a
And-
blessing to have.
Like we went 2
this
hours
opportunity.
on like really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget to hit that like button.
Hit that
But
like
yeah,
button and
we're good
subscribe.
plans. We're good friends with Platinum. If you could follow me on whitecode_ on Twitter, and you can also follow me on Instagram, the White Code, all lowercase. and I actually do have a Discord server of my own, which is kind of dry. I don't know, but it was mainly a Bleach community Discord. I think Platinum is involved in it as well.
Yeah.
He can link that up. And if Chigo, if you like to be a part of that, we would love to have you.
Oh, that neat. Might be another reason to use Discord, I guess.
Guys, send me your
I don't know,
links,
man.
and I will link
I'm
them up.
very rare with
It's
this
just
app.
it's pretty dry. I'm not even too proud of it. I want to build the productivity of the server, and I was thinking of, like, it was not too long ago. I was thinking of the future for the server to not only cover for the Bleach anticipation, but like anime news in general.
Hmm.
So that way we could just have more diverse people as a community. It's just
I hear you, man.
yeah.
I really do hope to meet you guys at some point.
Yeah.
I think it needs to happen at like us. What was it? Anime Expo. I mean, that'll be
Oof.
tough. I know that'll be
Idea.
tough for you.
That'll
right?
be very tough.
because you.
I mean,
you got
especially
paying
in
for
this
school right
situation.
now.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially
I'm
my situation.
even paying for school right now, so like I'm still trying to save though.
I got to keep my GPA up so I don't have to worry about paying for
man.
tuition.
Yeah, you must be in school for a while. Eh?
Yeah, this is my second year. That's just it's already going by so quick. We're just hitting the midpoint of the semester, and it's just crazy.
Hey, if it ain't this year, if it ain't next year, then it'll be 2021.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Chigo, you have money lying around?
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on it. I feel like it's a possibility. I'm
Even
gonna
if
say
it
for me.
happens like just
It's
once,
possible.
like it needs to happen, man.
Yeah, it
Some
really
Bleach
does.
I think I
folks need
could.
to
I
meet
think I
up.
could take it.
It don't even
Just-
matter how long it will take, but like I really just want to meet people like you guys because it really just touches my heart to have people like you guys that I wish that I've met people like you sooner when I was a kid. Like as a kid, I was deceived by many people that I really thought were my friends, but
Same here,
they
brother.
really just usually they really just utilize me for their own
Same
purposes
here.
and all that. And it's just
If I'm being honest,
you don't
I am.
it really just touches my heart to have people and optimistic, open-minded people like you two. And it's just oh man.
Same
I'm being
exact
all
thing,
touched
man.
right now.
We've all been through it.
Yeah.
Anything, it was more like I became woke. No, I'm just kidding. More like as far as my experience went, if we're talking about past experiences anyway, it more for me it was I as a man started to accept and acknowledge the fact that I have feelings and emotions, and because of that, all the people who were supposedly my friends, they just kind of dipped any. But that was at a specific point in time. Otherwise, when I was like a kid, I had nobody. I was essentially Naruto. Like if I'm being completely honest, like I wasn't kidding. Naruto's story is basically mine, to be honest, as far as like growing up wise. Like that was me. I was the nine-tailed fox kid. Especially when I had rage moments. Oh my god, you'd think I was him. Like I was a little freaking fox, man. I was going crazy. I'll go crazy. But I don't know. Am I supposed to? Was I supposed to plug something? I don't know if I was supposed to do that. Was I supposed to do that? I don't know if I was supposed to.
And
I got confused because I was like, should I do that?
You know what's actually more time to me because when I first watched Bleach, I was thinking back when I was a kid. Like I was easily as Ichigo as a kid. Like he wasn't like the teenage version of Ichigo that you all know. Like this guy is just really he's just really like not like somewhat depressed, but like he's really serious and just mature in life. Like before when I was a kid, I was really just being optimistic in life. And then as a teenager, I had the same personality as Ichigo as a teen when he's in high school. So I'm like, I get this guy, like I'm helping people out, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm not bothering with like certain BS going on. So I'm like, yep, this type of show really relates to me in a way. So
Mm. Mm.
Well, I guess that concludes it.
On Twitter, I don't know what I was doing.
yep.
Twitter's
Never
on
mind.
fire right now. When is Twitter not like on fire?
It's like it's just active. It's very active. It's probably like
Yeah.
when you look at Twitter and maybe YouTube, those two I would argue are the most.
I'm being called a clown
Active
for
ones.
saying that One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto are big three.
I'm
I'm being called a clown.
Look.
But I'm just like, how is I gonna
no.
face Platinum when this man loved the Joker movie? If anything, it's just gonna roll off his freaking his head and just be like,
Oh,
whatever.
man, I saw
Just-
that
just
Why is that
let-
gonna even-
and here's the
three
thing.
times,
Just
man. Three.
just let them say what they want.
Say what they want.
Let them live in this fantasy that they call reality.
Yeah.
Reality is often disappointing.
Oh no! The big three is actually JoJo, My
JoJo,
Hero,
Hunter,
My Hero
Hunter. JoJo, Hunter, and My Hero. Like what?
Oh no!
Yeah, anything far from the truth in that case. If anything,
Exactly.
like all those ones that were just named are all like solo acts. If anything,
I'm
they're not
praying for
part
these
of a
people,
group
man.
at
I'm
all.
praying for them.
They've really got nothing in common either. If anything, maybe I'll argue for Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's another story for another day. But nah, fam, just watch JoJo's.
Just
yeah.
watch the JoJos.
Just watch JoJo's, man. Oh, I want part 6 so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I want it so bad. Can't wait, man.
JoJo's is the answer.
Yeah.
Recording right now, but hey, we can still chill out if you guys ain't busy. But that's up to
I
you
think we're
guys.
gonna
You know?
slap a JoJo song on the end of this podcast.
Just slap that on. We may get copyright up. We don't know.
Right away.
If anything, there's certain songs you can't
or
use.
Play it
or
for
put like
2
some
seconds.
or maybe put a Bleach song in the back.
Oh, even Bleach songs get copied. You know what? That's weird, eh? Because YouTube just suddenly started, recognizing Bleach content, just out of the ordinary. Like I would post
right?
OSTs. You guys know I used to post OSTs in the past, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, this modern day, out of the blue, YouTube suddenly starts copywriting these songs. I'm thinking
What?
something's going on with the
Exactly, like, what?
licensing.
Now is it
Licensing.
the OSTs or is it like
Licensing's
actual?
Because I know you had remixes to the OSTs.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah,
they aren't even mine, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if it's like an anime OST,
and
kinda weird.
You guys know James has been saying something going on with the license.
Yeah.
we're getting hints to something.
Something's weird because YouTube's recognizing this stuff all of a sudden, which was none of this stuff was recognized before.
Right.
So I had to delete most of
Then
the
again,
OSTs. I'm like, yeah, it was a waste of time anyways. I was just posting them for fun.
YouTube's kind of broken.
Right.
Well, not even kind of broken.
YouTube
It's
just
broken.
sucks. We should talk about
It's
that
been
in a
broken.
4th episode or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write all these topics down.
Yeah.
But we'll conclude it here. It's been over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I really gotta get some sleep.
Yeah, get some
Swear-
sleep, bro.
Check on the, I don't know.
It's been really fun. Thank you guys for being here. You two are awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this was a really good idea. So this is episode 1 of the Otaku podcast with my friends, and that basically concludes it. How am I gonna end
See
this?
ya.
Arigato.
Arigato gozaimasu. All right, that's it. We will see you in the next
Peace.
episode, boys and girls.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care.
Take care.
And always remember, that's life.
挽回発火の咎めこれが私の残白刀の真の力だ